I'm taking this webinar from a plane. So I'm pretty certain that the broadband will work for the question and answer. But I've decided to record the presentation so that we don't get any technical glitches. Let me share my screen. So let me start. So today I'm going to talk about what we've observed with the effects of COVID-19 on the African internet as we see it, and from a consumer behaviour and what we've seen on the network as well. The most obvious and immediate effect was that we saw this rapid shift of working from the office to working at home. Now this had a very dramatic effect on bandwidth being used in people's offices. The graph on the left is showing the bandwidth used by one of the liquid telecom offices, dropping to almost nothing over the course of a few days when we shifted to compulsory working from home. This was in UK, which is our first office to go to working from home. We see a few people, see a few spikes in traffic here and there. People are connecting up to a VPN to get some business applications. But in the main, most people with their business applications are going straight to cloud. We're using cloud-based applications for most of our business operations. A headline on the left bottom side there, that is from a Kenyan newspaper, talking about the stay-at-home order in Kenya pushed the traffic up by 40% on the Safaricom network. I think it's gone up further than that since. But people moving their traffic from their office-based networks to their home-based networks and their mobile networks. The graph on the top right is within Liquid Telecom across the whole enterprise as a whole, and it's statistics on our usage of the different features of Microsoft Teams, which include video, voice, sharing files, collaboration, all the different bars there. Seeing a large number of increases in the usage of all the different services, all the different features of Microsoft Teams. And as more people are collaborating online, we're seeing a network effect. There's actually a 5-fold increase in the usage of Microsoft Teams within our own organization. A lot of that being the video calling and we use Zoom a lot, people use Zoom a lot for as well. So that big shift in traffic has led to exchange of traffic between operators and between the operators and the cloud providers, which is why we've seen a shift and increase in traffic at the Kenyan Internet Exchange point. We've also had, across everywhere in Africa, we've seen a big shift in the adoption of e-commerce. And I think if you look at the top websites in the Alexa top 50 of any country, we're seeing that the e-commerce sites have gone up the rankings. But the CEO of one of the biggest e-commerce sites in Africa, he said this quote for me here, which is that they've seen this big shift in people buying luxury goods on e-commerce, so more using it for everyday items like food and shopping and pharmacies. And so this is the change that's been going on. The change is not just in our business lives and the way we buy, but entertainment has had a big shift. And with a video entertainment service like Netflix, we've seen people watching longer hours. We've seen, instead of watching 2 hours at night, we've seen people almost watching from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. as being the peak of traffic. Maybe watching 2 movies at night instead of 1. So working from home, people spending less time in traffic between the office and the home, going straight to sitting down and watching the TV with the family. Also seeing that video gaming, which is very exciting for me, is increasing. People have gone on to more online gaming, Fortnite, other things. But a Kenyan company that I know, CP Games, they've got a gaming platform of locally developed games. They've reported a very big increase in the uptake and download of their games. People having more time being stuck at home, particularly children having more idle time to pick up and explore into gaming. Now, all of this is quite exciting from in terms of point of view of uptake on traffic on the internet network. Just because video and gaming and voice and collaboration and file sharing, cloud, these are the big drivers of internet traffic across the globe. But we haven't seen the same challenges in Africa that maybe have been faced in Europe. Left side is me getting fiber installed in my house in the UK a year ago. but I've had fibre to the home in Nairobi for now for 6 years. By having fibre to the home, we've been able to absorb the, the demands, all the things, extra things we're doing. The base networks, the data centers and the landing stations and the peering and the caching points, that's been ready for ages. It's been ready for almost 5 years to absorb this uptake in traffic. European networks, the ISPs did complain to Netflix and asked them to turn down the resolution of the video bandwidth because of the increased demand on networks. But because Africa having mostly fibre to the home instead of copper to the home, we've been able to to deliver a lot of broadband providers to increase the bandwidth available in their packages. So people have been able to absorb the uptake. What has really been changing, which has caused the change in behaviour, is what we're calling this digital transformation of humans, a coronavirus accelerant. By being forced to change the way that we do things, people who have not been adopting technology have suddenly had to adopt technology. People have started to do these online meetings that have never done them before. And this morning I was doing something. I was doing a webinar with members of the government of Kenya, doing an online meeting with governors. So this would never have happened 6 months ago. So now it's become what we're calling the new normal. However, it's not all great news, and I think one area that has exposed very much the digital divide is in education. Schools are enclosed in most countries for an indefinite future, and although we've been able to have some good results with schools that are able to already connected to broadband, universities that are already connected to broadband, private schools have been able to adapt, reverse the direction of internet traffic and deliver lessons from the classroom and able to keep their children learning. Many schools in Africa, as much as maybe in our footprint, we think about 200,000 schools have not got access to broadband. We've done some big projects in South Africa, Kenya, connecting 2,000 in South Africa, 300 in Kenya. And those ones where we've been able to get them to use online cloud-based collaboration tools to deliver classes, the challenge they've faced is that the children have not had access to devices and not had access to be able to pay for the mobile bundles they need to get connected and partake in the lessons. So that digital divide of people having access to devices and affordability of mobile data is really actually held back what could have been an even bigger transformation in terms of the uptake of traffic on the African network. So I think this has been a very exciting period, and I'm looking forward to some great questions today from the people who are watching the webinar. Thank you very much.